Welcome back, members. Uh, let's start with our second session, which is on procedural changes in GST returns and latest case laws under GST. And we have a learned speaker, CA Kunal Salvi, with us. And I request Sandeep sir to briefly introduce the speaker, please.
Welcome back, friends. After having a good Chinese food, let us now Kunal Salvi will explain the recent changes in the CA form, CA procedures, and the issues. CA Kunal Salvi is the age of 42 years. He is the first ranker in the TY BCom from Lala Lajpat Rai College. Passed CA in the 2007. Fellow CA from since 2012. Associated with the CA Dilip Phadke sir since last 25 years. Partners in the Sky GDP and Associate. Founder member is the CA Dilip Phadke sir. Practicing as a CA from his Borivali office in the field of a GST, income tax, project finance, assessments, audit, trust audit, consultancy on various direct and indirect tax issues. Speaker and resource person at various study circle meeting, conference and workshop of ICAI on GST and income tax subject. I now just request Lalit sir to give him a memento. Just give Shreyans to give a receipt of the CA Benevolent Fund. Over to Kunal sir to just take it over the session. Take it. Thank you. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, sure.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, thanks to Borivali Central CPE Study Circle. First of all, I'll thank Borivali Central CPE Study Circle and the conveners for giving me this opportunity. So today I will cover, before that, speaking after Dilip Phadke sir is tremendous job, but I'll take that I will not bore you in this next 1 hour. So my topic is recent portal changes on the GST portal, that is, and I'll take 2 or 3 or maybe 5 recent case laws that will be help to you. With the help of this case laws, you can fight or you can justify your case before the assessing officer. So the changes which I am taking is since April or January 2025, what are they are there on the GST portal. The first one is this is the recent changes, or this is the recent amendment. The GST portal has enabled filing of appeal against the amnesty order passed under the amnesty scheme. That is, whatever SPL 1, SPL 2 the taxpayer has filed, if his waiver application is rejected by issuing this rejection order, that is SPL 07, against that SPL 07, the taxpayer can file his appeal against this order. So for filing this appeal, this form is now enabled. Before filing this appeal, the one has to take care that if he wants to file appeal against this order, he cannot withdraw that appeal application. That is, once it is filed for this against that order, he cannot withdraw that appeal application. If he doesn't want to opt for that appeal against that order, he can restore the original appeal which he has done for going into the amnesty scheme. So the person who wants to file the application or file the appeal can now file the appeal against this order. For filing this, one can go to the services, then user services. In that user services, again, my application and appeal to the appellate authority. There you will select new application. Under order type, you will have to select waiver application, rejection order. For filing the appeal application for this particular class, you will have to select waiver application rejection order. As I said, once it is filed, you cannot withdraw this appeal application. And even if you not opting for filing appeal against the SLP order, that waiver order, you can still restore the original application or original appeal which you have withdrawn for the waiver of scheme. The next is invoice-wise reporting in GSTR 7. So what is GSTR 7? GSTR 7 form is applicable to the person who is liable to deduct the TDS. That is given in the section 51. Section 51 is applicable to government agencies currently. So if you see, it is applicable to government departments, establishments, then again government agencies, local authorities, and to the specified person which the government has notified. So currently, the government has notified only the person who is purchasing metal scrap is required to deduct the TDS under section 51. So those dealer who is deducting TDS under section 51 are required to file form GSTR 7. So that form is already there, but till September 2025, you can say August 2025, whatever reporting you are doing in GSTR 7, that is reporting of TDS deductions, you were reporting that as per GSTN level. So whatever TDS you are deducted for that particular GSTN, you are putting the total value of taxable values and that whatever TDS or tax you are deducted for that specific transactions. So now from September 2025 onwards, for the month of, that is tax period is October 2025, the one has to report all the transactions in the GSTR 7 invoice wise. So whatever whatever TDS you are deducted for each invoices, that each invoices you have to report in GSTR 7. So this is the latest amendment for GSTR 7. Again, if you have not filed that GSTR 7, obviously there is a late fees. The late fees is 100 rupees per day, that is 50 rupees under CGST and 50 rupees under SGST. If you have not paid the GST within a time, again 18% interest per annum interest is there. So you have to calculate that interest on the late payment of your TDS to the government. Filing restriction is compulsory. If even there is no transactions on which you have deducted or the taxpayer has, deductor has not deducted the TDS, still he has to file the nil return, that is GSTR 7, even though there is no entries, he has to file nil GSTR 7 return. And again, it is a sequential form. One cannot directly jump to the next month period for filing GSTR 7. He has to compulsorily file all the returns, even if there is no transactions, he has to file nil return. Say for example, if you have filed April 2025 GSTR 7 return, and now there is no transactions for the May 2025, or you can say June, July 25, there is no transactions. And directly the tax deducted by that deductor in the month of April, or you can say September 2025. So for filing August 25 or September 25 GSTR 7, one has to first file all the previous returns, that is April, May, June, July. So they have to file sequentially all the returns. Then only he can file, that tab is open for the next period. See, this is the invoice-wise reporting we have to upload on portal in form GSTR 7. When you enter GSTN number, you have to put invoice number also, the taxable value also, and how much tax you have deducted under CGST, HGST or IGST. The tax deduction rate, I think you all know, must all know, that 1% under CGST, 1% under HGST, and if it is interstate transaction, 2% IGST will have to deduct as a TDS. Yes? No. The person who is purchasing the metal scrap from the metal scrap dealer, the person who is purchasing has to deduct the TDS. Yes. Then the next advisory they have come up with pending returns before expiry of 3 years. So as you know all that, Finance Act 2023 has made amendments in the sections 37, 38, 39 and 44 and all. That the taxpayer cannot file the returns before 3 years. So they have not implemented, they have not rolled out these restrictions of filing 3 years, blocking of 3 years period. Now with effect from October 2025 tax period, one cannot file their previous returns or old returns which are long back of 3 years. So if you see the table, GSTR 1, if IFF is there, or GSTR 3B monthly will be there, GSTR 1 is monthly, then GSTR 5, GSTR 6 and GSTR 8. The last return one can file is up to from September 2022 onwards, meaning that up to August 2022 returns one cannot file any previous return from 2017-18 to August 2022. So September 2022 is the last return one can file for the previous before 3 years return. GSTR 1 quarterly, if it is there, or GSTR 3B quarterly is there, the last quarter will be the July 2022. GSTR 4 financial year 2021-22 and GSTR 99C financial year 20 and 21. This is 3 years from the due date of that applicable return. When we count that 3 years period, that 3 years period from the due date of that original return, if GSTR 1 due date is say July 2022, so from July 2022 we'll count 3 years, that is July 2025. So July 2022 return we cannot file in the month of October 2025 because 3 years has already lapsed. One more restriction they have put for e-way bill generation. As you know that if you have prepared any tax invoice, for against that tax invoice one has to prepare e-way bill if there is a movement of goods for specified period or specified distance. So generation of e-way bill, there was no time limit earlier. Suppose one has prepared tax invoice in the say on 1st April 2025. He can prepare the e-way bill against that tax invoice say in the month of September 2024, in the month of October 2025. There was no restriction for creating e-way bill against any tax, not only tax invoice, any documents which requires e-way bill generation. That may be tax invoice also, that may be bill of supply also, that may be the delivery channel also. So there was no restriction. But from April 2025, they have made restrictions that from the date of from the base documents date, you can prepare that e-way bill only up to 180 days. So for 1st April 2025, if that bill is of or base document is of April 2025, one can generate e-way bill only up to 20th September 2025 if the movement of goods has not started in between, but still he can prepare that e-way bill up to 20th September 2025. But after 20th September 2025, against that particular document, the taxpayer cannot generate e-way bill. Again, there is one more restriction they have put in e-way bill extension. Suppose the e-way bill is going to expire, the transporter or the dealer can extend the validity of that e-way bill. So there were no restrictions for how many days or for how many days you can extend that e-way bill. Now they have put the restriction for extending the period of your particular e-way bill. The extensions on e-way bill will be now 360 days from the date of original creation of that e-way bill. So for example, if e-way bill is generated on the 1st January 2025, max to max you can extend that e-way bill up to 27 December 2025. That is 1st January plus 360 days, that will come to the 27 December 2025. Again, one more restriction is there, e-way bill generation. If the taxpayer is under obligation to prepare e-invoice, if that e-invoice is applicable to them, they have to prepare that e-invoice against that tax invoice whatever he has prepared or created. So the time limit is 30 days. Suppose one has prepared tax invoice on say 1st April or 1st October 2025. He has to upload or he has to report that invoice on invoice reporting portal within 30 days from the date of creation of that basic document or the tax invoice. So for 1st October 2025 bill, one has to create e-invoice bill, e-invoice up to 30th October 2025. After 30th October 2025, against that invoice, the taxpayer cannot create or cannot report that invoice to the invoice reporting portal. That is he cannot create that invoice for or IRN number for that particular tax invoice. So what are the consequences for not creating or not generating e-invoice? So if you see last two lines, for incorrect invoice, there is a penalty of 25,000 per invoice for the issue of invoice that lacks IRN number. The invoice on which for which you have not created the IRN number. So per invoice there is a 25,000 huge penalty is there. And again for non-generation of e-invoice, the first one is you have created the invoice, you have created the e-invoice or you have created that IRN number, but you have not created it properly. So penalty can be 25,000 per invoice. For non-generation of e-invoice, if you have not created any invoice against that tax invoice or you have not created IRN number for that specific invoice, the penalty will be 100% or 100% of the tax due or 10,000 whichever is higher. One more advisory they have issued or they have come up with the advisory for table 3.2 blocking. See, GSTR 3B table 3.2 is regarding reporting of supplies to the unregistered person, supplies to the composition taxable person, and supplies to the government agency or government department. These three transactions you have to report in table number 3.2 of your GSTR 3B. These are getting auto-populated from your GSTR 1. Whatever data you are uploaded in the GSTR 1 return, that are get captured in this 3.2 table of GSTR 3B. So they have come up with the advisory that these figures in the table number 3.2 will be auto-locked or the hard lock. They cannot be changed by the taxpayer while filing their GSTR 3B. So now you can see while filing GSTR 3B, we can change the figures of table number 3. So they are of the opinion that they will make it hard lock for this 3.2. If any changes the taxpayer wants to need or wants to do in this 3.2 table, he has to make the correction or amendment by filing GSTR 1A. There is a facility given after GSTR 1 if there is an amendment or if there is any corrections in the data whatever you have uploaded in the GSTR 1, you have to do that amendment or the corrections by filing GSTR 1A return. That GSTR 1A return you can file any time before you file your GSTR 3B. So after 11th of due date for GSTR 1, one can file GSTR 1A anytime before filing of their GSTR 3B. So if you want any correction or modification in the table, that is output liability table, output supply table, that is table number 3. If you want any correction in the tables, you have to file GSTR 1A, then only that figure will get captured in your GSTR 3B. Still, this table is not yet hard lock. You can go and you can correct directly that figures from that 3.2. But better to avoid any notice, one has to do through GSTR 1A. See, this is the 4 question what I explained right now. Till what time or date I can amend value furnished in GSTR 1 through form GSTR 1A. So as there is no cutoff date for filing GSTR 1A before GSTR 3B, which means form GSTR 1A can be filed after filing GSTR 1 until the time of filing form GSTR 3B. So on or before filing GSTR 3B, you can amend the transactions which you have already reported in GSTR 1 through GSTR 1A. One more advisory was there, non-editable auto-populated liability in GSTR 3B. That outward liability table, that is table number 3, they are going to make it hard lock. That you cannot change any figure in the table 3 of GSTR 3B. But this is not right now made yet operational. So today, while filing GSTR 3B, you can manually change your taxable turnover in the GSTR 3B table number 3, or you can manually change your output tax liability. Once you change any figure in table 3 of GSTR 3B, it gets highlighted with the red circle or red square. That is, if you are making any corrections in that specific field or specific box, more than 20% or less than 20%, it will get highlighted with the red square. But I'll say, don't make direct changes. If you want to make any corrections in that table, table number 3, you must go through GSTR 1A. After filing your GSTR 1, if there is any mistake in the reporting, you just file 1A, and that corrected figure will automatically flow to table number 3 of your GSTR 3B. So the advisor was saying, in view of the above, from the July 2025 tax period onward, it was planned that from July 2025 GSTR 3B, the table will get auto-locked or hard locked for no corrections or no changes in that table. But yet it is not operational till September 2025 return also. You will see that you can manually change your figures of table 3 in GSTR 3B. But this will come. Once this IMS dashboard or IMS system will get in place, they will automatically do GSTR 3B with the hard lock. Only the reversal part of ITC, they will keep open for reversal and ineligible ITC and all that. They will keep open only that field. Everything will get locked. One more advisory was there, that is case insensitivity in IRN generation. Suppose the taxpayer is giving the number or bill number to their invoices like capital ABC or 1A capital, BC small. The system will automatically convert that to uppercase, ABC only, upper ABC, upper B, upper C. This is in line with the GSTR 1, that facility. Suppose you have uploaded in your GSTR 1 the billing pattern or billing that chronology like ABC in small. The GSTR 1 portal, if you see on GSTR 1, that table, that ABC small will automatically get converted into capital ABC. So same case insensitivity they are doing, they are keeping for the IRN generation, that is for invoice generation facility. Two-factor authentication for e-invoice and e-way bill. So earlier it was not mandatory till 20th August 2023. Two-factor authentication means while logging into that e-way bill site or e-invoice site, you will have to do the two-factor authentication. One is password and one is OTP on your mobile number. Then only you can log into that e-way bill site or your login portal or e-invoice portal. This was not mandatory till 19th August 2023. On 20th August 2023, it is made applicable or mandatory for the taxpayer whose aggregate annual turnover is more than 100 crore. Then on 11th September 2023, it was optional for the taxpayer whose turnover is 20 crore to 100 crore. Then they have made it compulsory on 1st January 2025 for the taxpayer whose turnover is between 20 crore to 100 crore. So it was mandatory for them from 1st January 2025. From 1st February 2025, it was compulsory for the turnover between 5 to 20 CR. And now from the 1st April 2025, it is compulsory or it is mandatory for all the taxpayer. Any taxpayer who has a turnover of, let's say, 10 lakh rupees also, 20 lakhs also, or 100 crores or more than 100 crores. They have to log in on their e-way bill site or e-invoice portal with two-factor authentication. That is one password and one is OTP or your mobile. One more advisory was there, that is registration of the unregistered person who is the supplier or the recipient. If any unregistered person who is not registered under GST wants to create e-way bill, how he can create that e-way bill for his transactions. So there is a facility given by the CBIC or we can say government that the unregistered person who is not registered under GST Act can create his login ID for generating e-way bill for any transaction, whether it is outward supply or inward supply. He can create his login ID on e-way bill site by filing ENR03 form. There is a e-way bill portal. In that portal, there is a tab, there is a section, registration is there. While clicking on registration, there is a tab if it is for unregistered person, and under unregistered person, this form ENR 03 will get open. One has to fill up that form ERN 03. He has to create the login ID by filling up this form, and then after creating the login, he can create an e-way bill for his outward supply also, or even if he wants to create e-way bill for his inward supplies also. So this enrollment ID can be used for generating e-way bill. He will get the 15 digit enrollment ID after filling up this ENR form. That is the login ID for him. One can use this 15 digit enrollment ID for creating his invoice. If that person is unregistered, the supplier who is preparing e-way bill can put his enrollment ID under that e-way bill, that registration option. Now we use URP, unregistered person, for creating e-way bill for the unregistered person. We use URP letters. Instead of that, you can put this enrollment ID in place of URP. So these are the amendment with effect from the 1st October 2025 with the recent changes in the budget or recent rules they have come up with in September 2025. So section 38, which talks about communication of inward supply, that is our purchases. So through this, IMS is now recognized in the law. Earlier, IMS was the optional. Your 2B was getting auto-generated. It was getting auto-generated and auto-populated in GST 3B. Since with these changes in section 38, the major change is what? They have substituted the word an auto-generated statement with the word a statement. There was earlier an auto-generated statement word was there. Instead of that, they have put a statement, meaning that your transaction, purchase transaction will not get auto-populated in your GST 3B. One has to go to the IMS dashboard. He has to accept, reject, or keep pending that records. From there, they have to create GST 2B, and from there, that GST 2B, that ITC will flow to the GST 2B, and from GST 2B, it will flow to the GST 3B. Earlier, before this amendment, the GST 2B was getting automatically populated or automatic created, and that from that GST 2B, your GST 3B ITC, your ITC will getting auto-populated in GST 3B. Now it will not happen. We'll have to make action on the invoices which are appearing in the invoice management system. We will go through that invoice management system dashboard. So they have made the changes in section 38 by changing that word auto-populated statement, auto-generated statement with the a statement. But the corresponding changes in the rule they have not made. In rule 60, still the wording is like auto-generated statement in GST 3B. So they have amended section 38, but they have yet not amended section 30, even section 30, rule 60 and even rule 61. Rule 61 has not been linked that IMS with the GST 3B. So still, GSTN portal has their separate law. The law which is there in the books is a separate law. If they want to do this through GSTN portal, the rule 60-61, even though not amended, that IMS will be applicable from the October 2025 period, that is tax period. Yeah, it is there. It is yet there. If you have not taken any action against that specific invoices, it will get automatically created as a deemed acceptance. But for creating 2B, you have to click that button in IMS. Create GST 2B, you have to click that GST 2B. All the invoices on which you have not taken any action will get transferred to the GST 2B, that is as it is accepted. See, deemed acceptance of the record. A record will be considered as a deemed acceptance at the time of GST 2B generation. This is the old advisory of IMS that invoice management system. In this advisory, they have come up with the latest advisory for the credit notes and the records, or the, we can say, specific documents which you can keep pending for specific period, for limited period. So this was the original advisory for the invoice management system. Deemed acceptance was there. Pending action shall not be allowed in the following scenario. So for the transactions, there are three action buttons are there in the invoice management system. One is accept, one is reject, and one is pending. So for pending, For following categories of documents, you cannot keep that pending, that is credit notes. It was the original advisory for the invoice management system. We'll go through the latest also. But for the credit note, you cannot take pending action. But there was an exception for the credit note that if there is any downward amendments to the credit note where the original credit note was accepted by the recipient. Suppose there was there was a credit note which was uploaded by the supplier and which was accepted by the recipient. And if there is any downward amendment, that is reducing the credit note value, if there is any report of this downward credit note, the taxpayer or the recipient cannot keep that downward credit note as a pending. He has to take action on that credit note, downward amended credit note compulsorily. See again, pending action cannot be kept for the downward amendment, that is the last paragraph, downward amended invoice or debit note where the original invoice or debit note was accepted by the recipient. Say any document or any invoice or the debit note which is amending to the downward side, that is original invoice is, say for example of 1 lakh rupees plus GST 18,000, and that original invoice was accepted by the recipient in the earlier tax period. The downward amendment to the invoice or the debit note he cannot keep pending as in your IMS dashboard. He has to compulsory act on that downward amendment of the invoice or the debit note. He cannot keep pending. Third one is downward amendment of bill of entries, that is IMP, imported goods and imported SEZ goods, where original BOE was accepted by the recipient and the respective GST has also been filed. That means when the original BOE is accepted and corresponding ITC is already claimed, the one cannot keep the downward amendment to that BOE or the invoices for the pending action. He has to act on that transactions or that specified transactions. Say one is credit note, second is downward amendment to the credit note, and downward amendment to the invoice or the debit note, and the third one is downward amendment to the bill of entries. For rejection, action shall not be allowed. Reject action shall not be allowed. There are three actions I have said. One is accept, one is pending, reject, and third one is pending. So we discuss about acceptance. If you are accepted that in specific transactions or the invoice, it will flow to the GST 2B. Third one is the pending. If you do not want to take action or you want to keep that bill, if it is not yours, if it is wrong, if you want to keep that transaction as a pending, you can keep the pending. And reject transaction is also there. If that transaction is not belongs to you only, you can reject directly. But the reject action cannot be due for the bill of entries and the amendment thereof, and the bill of entries in the case of imported from the SEZ. For these transactions, you cannot reject the transaction. You have to compulsorily accept that transactions. Meaning that if there is any bill of entry which is uploaded in through IceGate and which is reflecting in your IMS dashboard, if it is yours, you will compulsorily accept that BOE. See, new changes in the IMS with effect from the 1st October 2025. This is the latest advisory they have issued. Pending action for the specified records. Taxpayer can keep specified records. They have defined what is specified records. Taxpayer can keep specified records pending for a limited period. If you have take any action that is pending for any transactions, you can keep that transaction pending only for up to limited period. So which are those transactions for which if any pending action has taken, it is for the specified period, limited period. The first one is credit note. The specified records which can be kept pending in the system are mentioned below. First one is credit note or upward amendment to the credit note. Downward amendment of the credit note where the original credit note rejected. If any credit note was there which was rejected earlier and there is a downward amendment to that credit note, that specific transaction you can keep pending only for the specific tax period, and that specific tax period is that period of limitation is only one tax period. That is given in the first paragraph. So if there is a monthly filing of GST R1, you can keep that pending records only for 1 month. And if there is a quarterly filing of GST1 or GST3B, you can keep any records pending for 1 quarter only. So for, say for example, September 2025, if any transaction is appearing in there in IMS invoice management system, you can keep that record only up to October 2025 tax period. If there is a quarterly return filing for April, May, June, or you can say July, August, September transactions, we can keep pending only up to December 2025. After December 2025, for quarterly tax period, they have to compulsory react on that pending action, pending transactions. Declaring ITC reduction amount. Suppose one has taken ITC of the particular invoice, and there is a suppose he has not taken 100% ITC of that particular transactions, or we can say there was one transaction which was uploaded by the supplier, say 1 lakh rupees taxable value and 18,000 ITC was there. Suppose I have not taken the credit of that particular transactions. How can I report that I have not taken, or out of that 18,000 I have taken only 8,000, or we can say 10,000 ITC out of that 18,000. That facility is now available. If you want to reduce the ITC, whatever you have claimed, you can declare that reduction in ITC amount through this system. Now it is clarified that, I'll read word by word. It is clarified that in case where the recipient has not availed the input tax credit in respect of the relevant invoice or documents, no reversal of ITC shall be warranted. Suppose you have not taken the ITC of that particular transactions, it is not necessary you have to reverse that specific ITC again, because you have not claimed the credit, you have not availed that credit. So there is a facility that you will say that there will be the tab, or there will be the box where you will say that ITC was, whatever ITC was taken was 0, or whatever ITC you have taken for that specific transactions. Further in case where ITC has been availed only partially, the obligation to reverse ITC shall be limited only to the extent of such availment. अगर आपने थोड़ा ही लिया है तो आप उतना ही ये करोगे, reverse करोगे. Therefore, in IMS facility has been made available to the taxpayer to declare the amount of ITC actually availed by that taxpayer. This is what this advisory says. If you have not taken ITC of that particular transaction, you need not to reverse that ITC through IMS. If you have taken partial ITC, you will reverse that partial ITC only. Option to save remark. If you have taken any action against any particular transaction, you can put the remark for that particular transaction, and whatever remark you will put, that will be get carried forward to the your IMS dashboard, and this will get again intimated to your supplier in his outward dashboard, outward tax liability dashboard. So the taxpayer can now save remark while taking reject or pending action on records. This optional facility allows taxpayers to add remark. This is not yet rolled out. It will roll out shortly. Such remarks will be visible in GST2B for the future reference, and at the same time it will go to the outward dashboard of the supplier. Important date is okay. It is mandatory to take action on the original invoice. Suppose any particular transaction is there in the invoice management system or that dashboard, you have to take action on that specific transaction. If you have not taken any action on that particular transaction, it will get deemed accepted by the system. Suppose there is a situation that in case the credit note, the third paragraph, in the case of credit note amendment, sorry, I will first read second paragraph. If both the records belongs to the same periods to be, only the amendment record will be considered for the ITC calculation. Suppose the supplier has uploaded credit note for the September 2025. I have not accepted that September 2025. I have not taken any action on that September 2025 credit note. In October 2025 tax period, that supplier has amended downward that credit note and uploaded that transaction also in his GSR1, so it is automatically coming to my IMS dashboard. If I have not taken any action on the original credit note, and that amended credit note is also there on IMS dashboard, I have to act on both the transactions, that is credit note, that original credit note and the amended credit note, but that taxes applicable to applicable in that particular amended credit note will get auto flow to my GSR 2B. If it is for the different period, that is what they are saying. In case of credit note amendment, if the original and the amended records are there on the IMS dashboard of the recipient and both records belongs to the different return period, system will not consider the original credit note, the ITC adjustment at the time of GSR 2B of the respective. So they will auto flow, or they will transfer that ITC of amended credit note to the GSR 2B. They will not take any action, cognizance on the original credit note. Records on the IMS dashboard will be updated upon saving. See, earlier it was that even if you have not acted on the invoices in invoice management system dashboard, the ITC was automatically getting auto-populated in GSR 2B, and from GSR 2B it was getting auto-populated to GSR 3B. Now you have to first act on the IMS, you have to create the GSR 2B through IMS, then only GSR 2B will get, the ITC will get auto-populated in GSR 2B. Suppose you have taken any action on the invoices, and before filing the GSR 1 by the supplier, and you have taken action on that particular transactions, and that supplier has made any amendment to the transactions on which you have taken the actions, maybe accepted, or maybe you have rejected that specific transactions. Before filing of GSTR 1, we can take the actions, but before filing his GSTR 1, if he has made any correction to the specific transaction, your ITC result or your IMS dashboard result will get changed. So it will not be as per the whatever actions you have taken on that specific transaction, it will get changed. That transactions will get open again. You will have to again react on that transaction which was got amended by the, or which was got corrected by the supplier while filing his GSTR 1. So this is what invoice management system, where the B2B transactions will look like this. If you want to take the actions invoice wise, you can take each one by one. Or if you want to take in a group, or you want to select more than 2 transactions, more than 3 transactions, or group of transactions, you can simply click on the serial number. So all transactions will get selected, and the top you will see if you want to accept all these 9 bills, suppose. So on action table, that is accepted action table, you will see the accept 9 records at a time. So instead of going one by one, you can choose number of transactions at the same time, and you can accept, reject, or make a pending action for that particular selected transactions. So these facilities they have given. I have two posers for this. Suppose ITC on purchase which is ineligible as per section 17 subsection 5 claimed in earlier tax period by showing in table number 4A5 of our GSR 3B, and simultaneously reverse and the same GSR 3B through table 4B1. So there was a transactions which was ineligible ITC, which I have shown first in A4 4A5 table, and in the same return I have reversed that ineligible ITC. So ultimately I have not claimed any ITC for that tax period for that specific transactions. So how to act on credit note for these transactions? Suppose in the month of August 2025, there was a bill of rupees, say 1 lakh rupees plus 18,000 IGST, which was ineligible for me. There was no facility of IMS earlier, or for that specific transactions, the supplier has not issued any credit note, suppose. So it was normal transactions. I have taken that ITC. Since it was ineligible for me, I have reversed that ITC in the same return. Now, through this IMS, or now that supplier has uploaded credit note against that invoice. So now IMS is compulsory. I'll have to take action against that credit note. Suppose I'll take action as a accept. So it will be double, one more reversal for me, because once I have accepted credit note, it will get reduced their supplier's outward tax liability, plus it will get added to my, my ITC will get reduced. So already I have reversed that ITC in the month of August 2025. Now if I accept that credit note, it will again reduce my ITC for this October 2025. So what will be the solution? I think we'll have to accept, suppose if that credit note is coming to your IMS, you will accept that credit note and you will again reverse that specific ITC, which is, no, it will not come to that. I think there was a facility which I have seen in advisory that they will, there will be the tab for whatever ITC I have claimed or not claimed for particular transactions or that credit note. I can put that figure or that numbers over there. So automatically it will get reacted or it will get acted on that credit note. But I don't know right now what will happen in the on the GSTN portal for these specific transactions. How? If that facility will be there, na, we can. Yes. That facility will be made available, but I don't know whether it will get operational from this October period or next period. So right now this will be the position. Suppose I have already reversed that ITC suo motu, and again that credit note, he has not uploaded that credit note in the August 2025, but he is now uploading in the October 2025. It will get automatically reflected in my IMS. If I want to act on that, my ITC will get reduced one more time. If I am not acting on that specific credit note, it will get pending for only one tax period, because there is a limitation for keeping that credit note pending only for the one tax period. So in the next month, automatically the system will reduce my ITC of that credit note. I don't know the answer, but let's see what the portal will allow us on port. Pardon? It will get added to that supplier's liability. Na? Once you reject any credit note, that specific ITC or that specific liability will automatically get added to the supplier invoice. But that was the genuine credit note. Only he has uploaded late. Of August 2025 credit note, he has uploaded in the October 2025. It was genuine. So if once you reject that specific credit note, it will get amended. That will get added to his output tax liability of supplier. Pardon? That may be the practical solution, but we don't do. How this will get allowed to us, that suppose 4A5, we can put manual figure over there, we can reduce that, we will accept that credit note, we will reduce that liability, and we will take the ITC which was earlier we have reversed in the August 2025. We can again reclaim that, and we will. That facility, how they are providing, we'll have to see. That is what we have to see practically, how that pending actions or pending amount will get reflected, or whether they will carry forward to the next period or not. Something has to be happen for that specific balance amount. Correct. Genuinely we have reversed that ITC in the same month only, because it was not belongs to me, or it was ineligible, and that supplier has lately uploaded that credit note in the month of October 2025, where we have to act on that credit note through IMS. Pardon? They will not come to this IMS dashboard. Only B2B transactions, credit note, debit note, that IMPG transactions, that is imported goods, and imported SEZ. That transactions will only get auto. Yes. RCM will have to put manually only, no sir. RCM transaction will have to put manually only. It will not come to IMS. In 2B they will come. B2B transactions, credit note, debit note related to B2B transactions will route through IMS only. It will not get directly populated to GST 2B. Yes, sir. I don't know the facility. Excel file you can download from there, but that is only for viewing. You cannot take any action on that Excel file which they are giving right now on the IMS tab. till today there is no such utility. You can select that manually or lump sum transactions. How they will happen, I don't know. Maybe there they will provide something, some utility will be there. This tax period, yes. October will file in the November, yes. There is an amendment in section 34, that is credit note. Old proviso was substituted with this new proviso, that is saying, provided that this section 34 talks about credit note. The new proviso is provided that no reduction in output tax liability of the supplier shall be permitted if the input tax credit as is attributable to such credit note, if availed, has not been reversed by the recipient. Suppose any credit note the supplier has uploaded in GSTR 1, he will get reduction of liability only if the recipient has reversed his input tax credit. So how he will reverse that input tax credit earlier before introducing this IMS system? We don't have any facility that we can recheck or we can check whether the recipient has reversed that ITC against that credit note or not. So now with the introduction of IMS, they have made correction or they have made amendment in this section 34 proviso that input tax credit as is attributable to such credit note, if availed, has not been reversed by the credit note where such recipient is registered person. Unless and until that recipient has not reversed the ITC of that credit note, your outward tax liability will not get reduced through credit note. So how he will react? He will react through IMS system, that is invoice management system. Suppose a supplier can reduce the output tax liability on credit note only if the recipient has actually reversed the ITC of that credit note. If the ITC was never availed, the recipient can declare zero reversal IMS. Sir, you said like this, if that credit note I have not availed or that is not there, there may be the facility they will provide that we will put zero over there, that I have not claimed the ITC against this credit note or original transaction. So there was one circular number 212, that is 212, dated 26 June 2024, which was talking about certificate from the CA or CMA or sale certificate from the recipient. Section 15, subsection 3, clause B, subclause 2, there was a restriction when there is any credit note given by the supplier for post-supply discount. If that post-supply discount is with the conditions or that credit note is complied with the conditions which is there in the section 15 subsection 3 clause B, then only he can reduce that outward tax liability of that in that credit note. So there was one condition in this section 15 subsection 3 that ITC has been, the supplier can reduce his outward tax liability through the credit note only if the recipient has reversed the ITC. There was no mechanism. They had come up with the circular 212 that we have to produce CA certificate if that ITC involvement or that tax involvement was more than 5 lakh rupees. Then CA CMA certificate was there. If that ITC or that tax liability is below 5 lakh rupees or not exceeding 5 lakh rupees, then self-certification through the recipient was enough. Now with the introduction of this IMS system, where the recipient will take the action on the credit note, this requirement was not, this compliance is not required right now in the future. So they have withdrawn this circular number 212, where there was a condition for the submission of CA certificate or CMA certificate or the self certificate by the recipient. So this will not be there from the once it is applicable, I think, from the 1st October only, because they are not given any specific period. That notification circular was there that they have withdrawn the earlier circular 212, but effective date I think it may be 1st October 2025. For past we have to produce the CA/CMA certificate. One more clarification of the circular they have come up, circular number 251. They have clarified 3 issues. The first issue was whether I will read word by word the issues. Whether the full ITC is available to the recipient of the supply when the recipient make discounted payment to the supplier of the goods on account of financial commercial credit note issued to the said dealer. Suppose there was a transaction, say for example of 1 lakh rupees plus GST of 18,000. 1 lakh 18,000 bill was there. I have paid only 1 lakh rupees to the supplier. That 18,000 was there in my books of accounts. Whether I'll have to, and after that, for that 18,000 I have passed entry, or that supplier has given me the credit note, which is the financial credit note for that discount amount, that 18,000 amount for discounting for that 18,000. On that basis, I have reversed that 18,000 as a discount received. So whether I'll have to reverse ITC on that 18,000 or not, whether rule 37, that is related to 180 days payment, will applicable here or not, they have clarified like that. If that is a financial discount and it is for the reduction of the price, and credit note is specifically given that that specific amount is get discounted, for that you need not to reverse any ITC for specific 18,000 rupees in our example. Suppose there is no credit note. In my books that 18,000 was lying as a payable. I have not passed any discount entry, that is discount received entry, or not written back that liability. In that case, the officer can invoke rule 37, that is payment is not made within 180 days for that specific transaction. So passing discount entries or passing any credit note which we have received from the supplier for discounting that specific amount is equivalent to the payment against that specific transaction. So if you have passed any transaction that is discount received in your books of accounts, it will be considered as your payment against that invoice, and in that case rule 37, or we can say that 180 days payment transaction rule will not be applicable over here. Second issue what they have discussed is whether a post-sale discount offered by the manufacturer to its dealer would be treated as a consideration paid by the manufacturer for the dealer's supply of same goods to the end consumer as a mandatory value of goods, as a mandatory value of the inducement to the supply of goods manufactured by him to the end consumer. So whatever discount, post-supply discount manufacturer has provided to the dealer for the selling the goods to the customer, whether it will be treated as a consideration by the dealer to the manufacturer or not. So they have clarified it that, see, if it is normal discount, the manufacturer and dealer transaction, dealer to customer transaction are principal to principal basis. So in that case, it is not an inducement to the supply. It will not be considered as a value of supply or consideration from dealer to the manufacturer. In that case, there is no tax liability will be payable by the dealer. Suppose the discount is linked to the customer price. The manufacturer is in agreement with the customer that he will get the discount, that particular goods or the material with the discounted price from the dealer. In that case, whatever post-supply discount he is passing on to his dealer, it will be considered as a consideration against that against that transaction. Whether post-sale discount extended by the manufacturer to the dealer can be treated as a consideration in lieu of activities performed by the performed to promote the such goods. So suppose any discount is given by the manufacturer to the dealer, and that discount is not for any performance to be done by that dealer, that is promotional activity, branding and so on, that discount or that post-supply discount will not be treated as a consideration from that dealer. But if there is a specific transactions or specific agreement between the manufacturer and dealer that dealer will do some promotional activity for the manufacturer, and against that service he will give the discount in his sale or whatever transaction will be there with the manufacturer and dealer. In that case, that post-supply discount will be treated as a consideration for the that dealer, and the dealer has to pay the GST on that specific transaction, that post-supply discount. Passing on that, yes, this is a normal transaction, because by doing this they are increasing their sale. Dealer is increasing his sale. Suppose there is a predetermined agreement between the manufacturer and the dealer, or the supplier and the dealer, that you have to do this promotional activity, or you have to do this, you have to sell this product with the discounted price to specific customer. Then there is a predetermined agreement between the supplier and the customer for that specific rate with the dealer. In that case, that specific post-supply discount, whatever the manufacturer will pass on to the dealer, will be treated as a consideration for the that dealer, and the dealer will pay tax on that specific amount. This will happen. This is happening in the case of this cement industries, I think. Suppose 325 per kg bag is there from the manufacturer. He is selling for 325 to the dealer, and he is already instructing his dealer that you have to sell this specific customer or specific transaction you have to do with the, say for example, for 300 rupees. So already 20 rupees loss was there. So that 20 rupees loss was converted through this post-supply discount. For that transaction, they have clarified this. That's second issue. Then there was one more new section they have added, government has added, that is 148A. Track and trace mechanism for certain goods. They have the notification not yet issued, I think. I have searched, but it is not there. They may notify the goods or the class or person or the class of the person who will do this, what they will do, that person or for that specific goods. Government will provide a system of enabling affixing a unique identification mark for that specific goods. And they have to store electronically with the manner the government will tell to that for that goods or that to that specific class or the person or the class of the person. This is effective from the 1st October 2025, but I don't know which are the goods or who are the person or class of the person for whom this has been made applicable. For the same, if the person is not complying with the section 148, there will be the penalty under section 122B, and this penalty will be over and above the penalty under chapter 15, that is demand and recovery. Water penalty will be levied on that taxpayer under the section 70 through 84, or offences and penalty under section 122 to 138. This will be the additional penalty of rupees 1 lakh or 10% of the tax liability which is there, which for the specific goods. Whichever is higher will be the levied to the taxpayer. Again, whatever taxes government has retrospectively reduced and which has been collected by the dealer, which has been collected by the government from the taxpayers, will not get refunded. That they have very well clarified that. In short, what? Even if the law letter says that the tax should not have been collected, the government will not refund the amount whatever they have collected earlier. Appeals to the appellate authority. There was an old proviso that penalty order can be appeal against the penalty order can be filed only by filing 25% pre-deposit. The pre-deposit 25% pre-deposit was mandatory for filing appeal against the penalty order, where there is no demand of tax involved. So for any appeal which is to be filed for the penalty order, the 25% जो है जो आपको 31 जनवरी 2022 के पहले अगर आपको मिली हुई है, that is communicated to the taxpayer. For against that order, if you want to file any appeal before the tribunal, you have to file that before on or before 31st October 2025. Though they have given the staggered manner filing or timeline for the orders, still the taxpayer or you can file that appellate tribunal before 30th June 2026. There is no hurry, matlab, there is no compulsion that you have to follow this timeline. You can still file your tribunal appeal up to 30th June 2026. Plus again you will get 3 months continuation period. So with the continuation one can file their appellate tribunal on or before 30th September 2026. I'll take only 10 minutes. Recent amendments in rule, I think this is already covered by Phadke sir relating to ISD, that is rule 39(1)(a). One rule, there is a change that lottery, now the rate is 40%, so they have changed the base 1 upon 128, they have made it 1 upon 140. Then rule 91 sub rule 2, any application, refund application filed the taxpayer, they will get provisional refund only within 7 days. I don't know whether it is yet implemented or not. Maybe from 1st October, the dealer or the taxpayer who is filing any refund application from 1st October 2025, he will get immediately 90% provisional refund within 7 days. Okay, this is the new rule they have come up with from 1st October 2025. Yes, all cases. There are restrictions for provisional refund. Section 54, subsection 6, notification number 14 of 2025. In the following cases, the provisional refund within 7 days, that is 90% provisional refund will not get within 7 days. It will get only after scrutiny of that application. In these two cases, any person who has not undergone other authentication under Rule 10B. रूल 10B में आपको पता अगर है तो अदर ऑथेंटिकेशन इज कंपलसरी फॉर द 3 ट्रांजेक्शन्स. अगर आपको रिवोकेशन ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन करना है, अगर आपको रिफंड एप्लीकेशन फाइल करना है, और एक है समथिंग इज देयर, थर्ड वन इज देयर रूल 10B में. अगर ये 3 कैटेगरी आपको करना है तो आपको कंपलसरी रूल 10B के हिसाब से आपका अदर ऑथेंटिकेशन कंप्लीटेड होना चाहिए GST पोर्टल पे. देन ओनली यू कैन आस्क फॉर द प्रोविजनल रिफंड विद इन 7 days. And again the second category who will not, the provisional refund will not be applicable, that is within 7 days to the this dealer who is dealing with this product, that is 08080 category of HSN, then 21069020, that is pan masala, tobacco and essentials oil. For these dealers 7 days provisional refund provision is not applicable. Rule 110 and 111, that is related to appeal. Now the GST tribunal appellate to the filing of the appeal to the tribunal is made available. So whatever form you will upload, you will get the acknowledgement in APL 02A. First you will get provisional receipt through part A. Once that form is accepted, you will get the final receipt in part B of APL 02A. See, for the first appeal, when we file the APL 1, we will get the acknowledgement in APL 2. For a tribunal appeal, we will get the acknowledgement in APL 2A, that is one is part A and one is part B. Part A is for the provisional receipt and part B is for the final receipt. One more rule 110A they have added with effect from 1st October 2025, that is introduction of single member bench procedure for appeal not involving question of law. When there is appeal and there is no question of law for that case, the single member bench will handle that case. Rule 113 sub rule 2, that suppose the tribunal authority has passing any order, they have to pass that order in SPL 04A. The first appellate authority is passing their order in APL 4. Now the appellate tribunal will pass their order in APL 04, that is summary order, and they will upload on the GST portal. I'll just take in 5 minutes that amendment to the, or exemptions or amendment to the GST 9 form. As usual, GST 9 is exemption is optional for the dealer whose turnover is below 2 CR. So by notification number 15/2025, they have clarified that the dealer whose turnover or the taxpayer whose turnover is below 2 crore, they will not be required to file GSTR 9 compulsorily. They can optionally file their GSTR 9. In table 6 of GSTR 9, that form is there. I think सबको अभी पता ही रहेगा कौन सा फॉर्म है और उसमें क्या टेबल्स होते हैं. In table 6, one more new row they have added, A1. मतलब देर है दुरुस्त है, जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि इतने सालों से हम लोग बोल रहे थे कि वो 6 से टेबल में सारे लास्ट ईयर का भी फिगर आ रहा है, करंट ईयर का भी फिगर्स आ रहे हैं. उसका बाइफिकेशन कैसे दे, करंट ईयर का ही फिगर आईटीसी का दिखाना है कि प्रीवियस ईयर का दिखाना है. तो अभी ये शायद सॉर्ट आउट हो गया है. So they have come up with the serial number A1. There was no such clause in old form. Now with the new form, ITC of the preceding financial year availed in the next financial year will have to report over here. जो भी आपने पुराने साल का ITC करंट ईयर में क्लेम किया, that is 23-24 ITC which you have claimed in 24-25, we will have to report that ITC in table number A6A1. Ultimately, A2 was introduced to minus A1. Okay. Table number 6H, they have changed the word, that description of that 6H, the words other than B above was deleted. So now, whatever ITC you have claimed, other than rule 37 and 37, we'll have to report in table number 6H. I will explain that in next slide. In 6M, earlier there was any other ITC availed but not specified above was there. So it was assumed that it will cover ITC 01, 02, 02A, something. So now they have specifically described that what is the meaning of 6M. Then you have to report. You will have to report over there ITC 01, ITC 02, ITC 02A. Other than the ITC which is claimed through ITC, GSTR 3B and TRAN 1 transactions. So for 6A1, what you will report? The instruction says ITC in respect of preceding financial year, but availed through GSTR 3B of April to October of the financial year for which annual return is submitted. Filed till 30th November 30th November of financial year for which annual return is furnished and included in auto-populated value in 6A. Also, if any ITC which was claimed and reversed, मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन करूँगा, एक एग्जांपल मैंने लिया हुआ, जस्ट आई विल रीड दिस what instruction they have given. Also, if any ITC was claimed and reversed due to rule 37 and 37 in any of the preceding financial year, but reclaimed during the financial year for which the return is being filed, shall not be reported here. 6A1 में आपको वो ITC claim करना है जो आपने रूल 37 और 37 में पहले रिवर्स किया था और अभी रिक्लेम करें, वो आपको यहाँ पर रिपोर्ट नहीं करना है. जैसे मैं अगर आपको एग्जांपल दूँ, सी दिस इज द एग्जांपल, सिंपल एग्जांपल. हम लोग पकड़ते हैं कि फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2023-24 में एक ही ट्रांजेक्शन था या तो दो ट्रांजेक्शन थे. ITC अवेलेबल वॉज 13,000 फॉर द फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2023-24. Out of that, we have already made reversal under Rule 37 of rupees 10,000, and other than Rule 37 or 37A, we have made 5,000 reversal over there, and we have not claimed any ITC in 23-24. 15,000 was ITC, 15,000 ITC was there for the last financial year. Out of that, 10,000 we have reversed through due to Rule 37, and 5,000 other than Rule 37 or 37A. So we have not claimed any ITC in the last financial year. But that ITC, whatever we have reversed in last year, we have claimed in the 24-25. Suppose for 24-25, my available ITC for this current year was 15,000 again. Plus whatever ITC I have reversed through Rule 37, I have reclaimed in the current financial year. So I have claimed that 10,000, whatever I have reversed in 23-24, I have claimed in 24-25. Plus that 5,000 which I have reversed for any reason other than Rule 37 or 37, that is 5,000. So ultimately in financial year 24-25, I have claimed 15,000 plus 10,000 plus 5,000. Total ITC I had claimed 30,000 for the financial year 24-25. How to report this in table number 6 and table number 8 of GSTR 9. So in table number 6A, 30,000 will get auto-populated. Whatever ITC you have claimed in GSR 3B, that is 30,000 will get auto-populated at table number 6A. In 6A1, you will report only the reclaim ITC, only the ITC which of the 23-24 you have claimed in 24-24, but for reason other than rule 37 and 37A. So in our example, that 5,000 which we have reversed in previous year, other than reason for rule 37A, which will report in table number A1, 6A1. So 5,000 will go to the table number 6A1. So ultimately 30,000 minus 5,000, for current year I have claimed 25,000. Again in table number 6H, I will report that 10,000. That reclaim amount of previous year which I have reversed because of rule 37 and which I have reclaimed in 24-25, that is rupees 10,000, I will declare in table number 6H. So ultimately for the 25,000, 6A2, I will make the bifurcation in table number 6B, that is 15,000 my current year ITC, which is the first line of our 24-25, 6H 10,000. So ultimately I am reporting 25,000 in table number 6. At table number 8A, my ITC through GSR 2B will get auto-populated, that is 15,000. Whatever I have reported in table number 6B, that is 15,000 will get auto-populated at table number 8B, that is down. So my ITC will get matched, 15,000 with the 15,000. So ये आपको बताने की कोशिश यही थी कि 6A में क्या डालना है, 6A1 में क्या डालना है और 6H में क्या डालना है. So अगर रूल 37 का आपका रिक्लेम वाला अगर कोई ITC है, you will report in table number 6H, और अदर देन रूल 37 वाला कोई रिक्लेम वाला ITC है तो you will report in table number 6A1. टेबल नंबर 9 they have added with the last column. ये एक्चुअली पहले होना चाहिए था. हम लोग एक्सेल यूटिलिटी में अपने वर्किंग्स में हम लोग रखते थे कि कितना टैक्स पेबल था, कितना भर दिया, जो भी डिफरेंस है उसका पेबल पेड, लास्ट कॉलम वाज देयर. करेक्ट. 6A1 ना, simple. I have explained only for the reclaimed ITC in detail. Generally, you will report that A1 only, 6A1. Previous year ITC you have claimed in the 24-25. Yeah, simple. The last column they have added in the new form, that is difference between tax payable and the tax paid. ये क्यों है basically? अगर table 4 आप देखोगे, so table 4 में you will report the outward tax liability, correct? That taxes figure will get auto-populated, not get auto-populated. In this tax payable figure, GSR 9 second number column, tax payable figure are getting auto-populated from annual GSTR 3B liability which you have reported will get auto-populated here. जो भी आपने 3B में सारे साल भर में दिखाए थे output tax liability, ये आपके टेबल नंबर 2 में आती है, मतलब कॉलम नंबर 2 में आती है. टेबल नंबर 4 ऑफ GSR 9 हम लोग क्या रिपोर्ट करते हैं कि ट्रांजेक्शन्स ऑफ द करंट ईयर, जो मैंने करंट ईयर में दिखाए और जो करंट ईयर में मैंने नहीं दिखाए थे, आई कैन रिपोर्ट दैट टू द टेबल नंबर 4. तो अगर मैंने GSR 3B में 1 लाख रुपए का ट्रांजेक्शन दिखाया था जिसका 18,000 रुपये टैक्स था, जो मेरे 3B में भी था, फिर वो टेबल नंबर 4 में आएगा 1 लाख रुपीज ट्रांजेक्शन विद द 18,000 टैक्स लाइबिलिटी, दैट 18,000 विल गेट ऑटो पॉपुलेटेड हियर इन कॉलम नंबर 2 ऑफ GSR टेबल नंबर 9. और कोई एक ट्रांजेक्शन था जो 50,000 का मैंने कहीं पे रिपोर्ट ही नहीं किया था, ना GSR 1 में किया था ना GSR 3B में किया था. सो आई विल मेक एडिशन ऑफ दैट 50,000 इन टेबल नंबर 4. So now my liability for that current financial year for that specific 2 transaction is 18,000 plus 9,000. जो मैं 9,000 टेबल नंबर 4 में ऐड कर रहा हूँ ना, वो मुझे टेबल नंबर ये कॉलम में ऐड मैन्युअली चेंज करना होता है. सो यहाँ पे 18 प्लस 9 दैट इज 27,000 आएगा. फिर आगे पेड पेबल आएगा कि मैंने 18,000 ही भरा है क्योंकि 3B में 18,000 ही दिखेगा. सो 27,000 विल गेट रिड्यूस फ्रॉम 18,000. लास्ट कॉलम जो 9,000 दिखेगा, जो ऑफिसर को पता चलेगा इन्होंने कुछ आउटपुट लाइबिलिटी है जो भरी नहीं थी, आइदर इनको भरना है या तो DRC 03 से शायद ऑफसेट की होगी. ये एक्चुअली होना चाहिए था पहले, ठीक है, 8 साल के बाद उनको शायद लग रहा है तो आ गया ये. टेबल नंबर 10, 11, 12, 13 एक्चुअली वही है, सिर्फ थोड़ा उसका नोमेनक्लेचर बदला उन्होंने कि विद द न्यू डिस्क्रिप्शन इज सप्लाईज और द टैक्स डिक्लेयर्ड थ्रू इनवॉइसेस, डेबिट नोट और अमेंडमेंट in plus side, that is increasing the आउटवर्ड टैक्स लाइबिलिटी। 11 में अगर आपने कुछ रिड्यूस किया रहेगा तो 12 में एनी ITC which is reversed of the current year in the next financial year. So earlier there was a word previous financial year that was getting confused, तो उन्होंने थोड़ा सा ठीक से लिखा हुआ है अभी ITC of the financial year reversed in the next financial year, मतलब आज ये साल का ITC आपने नेक्स्ट ईयर में अगर रिवर्स किया तो रूल टेबल नंबर 12। 14 में वापस सेम, that last column they have added difference 2 minus 3, whatever liability you have declared in table number 10 or reduced in table number 11, करंट ईयर की लाइबिलिटी आपने नेक्स्ट ईयर में आइदर भरी हुई है या तो रिवर्स करी हुई है, वो आपको टेबल नंबर 10 और 11 में शो करनी होती है। ऑन दैट बेसिस यू विल फाइल दिस टेबल नंबर 14 कि आपने कितना पेड किया हुआ है, दोनों का डिफरेंस मिला कि आप पेएबल और पेड करोगे। ये अगर थर्ड कॉलम उन्होंने दिया भी नहीं रहता ना तो भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, क्योंकि वॉट एवर इज पेएबल इट इज ऑलरेडी पेड। क्योंकि अगर आप बोल रहे हो कि 10 और 11 नंबर टेबल में मैंने जो भी ट्रांजेक्शन दिखा है वो मैंने नेक्स्ट ईयर में ऑलरेडी 3B में रिपोर्ट किए हुए हैं, अगर मैंने 3B में रिपोर्ट ऑलरेडी किए हुए हैं तो ऑलरेडी इट इज पेड आइदर थ्रू कैश और आइदर थ्रू ITC, वो पेबल हो नहीं सकते क्योंकि मैंने अगर 3B में किया तो मुझे ऑफसेट करना ही करना है, तो वो पेड पेबल सेम ही रहेगा हमेशा। पेबल जो भी अमाउंट रहेगी वही पेड रहेगी, तो डिफरेंस एक्चुअली वो उन्होंने नहीं दिया रहेगा तो भी वो अपने 2 and 3 कॉलम विल बी द सेम because it is already paid in the next year because it is reported in the GST 3B. Again same relaxation as last year, table number 4, table number 5, table number 4 all columns are और rows are compulsory, मतलब डेबिट नोट आपको अलग दिखाना है, क्रेडिट नोट अलग दिखाना है, अमेंडमेंट अलग दिखाना है। टेबल नंबर 5 अगेन सेम रिलैक्सेशन, अगर आपको क्रेडिट नोट डेबिट नोट इफ यू वांट टू एडजस्ट इन द नेट आउट करके दिखाना है तो आप नेट आउट करके दिखा दो, या तो डेबिट नोट क्रेडिट नोट फॉर द टेबल नंबर 5 यू कैन शो सेपरेटली ओवर देयर। अगेन जो भी एग्जेम्प्टेड नॉन GST नॉन सप्लाई वाले ट्रांजेक्शन है अगर आपको सेपरेट दिखाना है यू कैन शो सेपरेटली, और इफ यू वांट टू ऐड एट अ वन पर्टिकुलर रो दैट इज एग्जेम्प्टेड यू कैन डायरेक्टली रिपोर्ट टू दैट एग्जेम्प्टेड रो ओनली। तो अगर आपको अलग अलग भी दिखाना तो भी ठीक है, या तो एग्जेम्प्टेड में सारे फिगर एक साथ दिखा दो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। Table number 6B I already explained, table number 6H I already explained, table number 7 again no same, वो ये है कि जो भी आपने रिवर्सल किए हुए हैं अलग अलग हेड में 7A में अलग दिखाना है, रूल 37 का रिवर्सल, रूल 39 का रिवर्सल, एनी अदर रिवर्सल, वो सब आप अलग अलग भी दिखा सकते हैं 7A से लेके 7H तक। इफ़ यू वांट टू पुट ऑल द फिगर्स इन वन कॉलम और वन रो यू कैन यूज 7H। Table number 8 is compulsory. Table number 17 is mandatory this year also. Table number 15, 16, 18 is optional for this year also. Table number 7 mandatory means HSN wise summary or reporting of outward supply. Outward supply से related HSN आपको compulsory 17 में दिखाना ही दिखाना है। 18 का परचेस का मतलब इनवर्ड सप्लाईज का अभी भी ऑप्शनल है। ऑन द सेम लाइन 9C में भी कुछ चेंजेस हुए हैं, दैट इज व्हाट कि ई कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर के लिए अगर आपको पता है कि अगर रेस्टोरेंट के लिए और ई कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर कोई ट्रांजेक्शन्स करता है तो ई कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर से जो भी ट्रांजेक्शन्स हुआ है उसका टैक्स ई कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर भरता है। सो फॉर दैट ट्रांजेक्शन्स देयर वाज अ अमेंडमेंट और देयर वाज अ करेक्शन इन द फॉर्म ऑफ GST 3B ऑल्सो, देयर वाज अ करेक्शन इन द 9 ऑल्सो, बट they have not made any corrections in the 9C. So from this year they have put all the columns related to the e-commerce liability which we have to report, which they have paid on by the e-commerce operator. So table number 7, D1 clause they have added, supplies on which tax is to be paid by the e-commerce operator as per subsection 5 of section 9. सेक्शन 9 सबसेक्शन 5 क्या कहता है कि ई कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर को स्पेसिफिक ट्रांजेक्शन के ऊपर उसको टैक्स भरना है, ना कि वो सप्लायर को भरना है। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल होटल, जोमेटो से अगर हम लोग कुछ फूड मंगाते हैं तो होटल वो फूड वो स्पेसिफिक ट्रांजेक्शन के ऊपर टैक्स नहीं भरता है, तो जोमेटो अपने से कलेक्ट करके गवर्नमेंट को भरता है। तो वो वाला ट्रांजेक्शन्स है, उसके लिए 3B में करेक्शंस हुआ था, 9 में करेक्शंस हुआ था प्रीवियस ईयर, लेकिन 9C में नहीं हुआ था क्योंकि उसका रिपोर्टिंग हम लोग दे नहीं पा रहे थे। अभी एसएल दिस इज द अमेंडमेंट फॉर द GST 9C. Table number 7 they have amended, table number 9 they have amended, table number 11 they have amended, and the part fee for the additional liability. For all 4 places they have put supplies on which tax is paid by the e-commerce operator under subsection 5 of section 9. Again, there was a late fees for 9C के लिए भी late fees थी, लेकिन वो कैलकुलेट नहीं हो रही थी, या तो शायद उनको पता ही नहीं था, ही लेना था उनको। नाउ दे हैव put the this table, inserted this table, table number 17, new table was there for the late fees on late filing of GSTR 9C. तो अगर आप 9 फाइल करते हो, 9C भूल जाते हो, 9C भरने के लिए जाते हो, तो 9C का भी लेट फीस आने वाला है. GST, हाँ, चेंजेस इन द GST रेट्स मैं इतना ज़्यादा नहीं लूँगा, क्योंकि अगर गुड्स से रिलेटेड है तो वो दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन वो HSN समरी, HSN देखना है आपको, उसका स्टडी करना है, फिर आपका 12 का 18 हुआ कि नहीं, सिर्फ प्लेन रीडिंग से तो होगा नहीं, आपको HSN समझने पड़ेंगे, वो हिसाब से करना है. लेकिन मोटा मोटी इट इज़ अ चेंज इन द हेल्थ केयर एंड मेडिसिन, हाउस होल्ड एसेंशियल्स, डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स, दैट इज़ लर्निंग मटेरियल, मतलब स्टेशनरी से रिलेटेड, footwear and textile, agriculture and renewable energy. Again, there was earlier 5%, 12%, 18%, then 28%, 3% was also there. 4 से बड़े स्लैब थे, मतलब 5 भी था, 12 भी था, 18 भी था, 28 भी था. तो अभी उन्होंने 2 बोले हुए हैं, लेकिन स्टिल अभी भी 3 है, अभी भी 40 है, तो 2 ही नहीं है. तो एक 5 है, 18 है, 40 है, और 3% फॉर ज्वेलरी इज ऑल्सो देयर. What I like to discuss in this, अगर आपका रेट फ्रॉम 18% to 5% अगर हुआ है, तो रिडक्शन हुआ है. आपका इनपुट भी वैसे था, आपका कोई इनपुट 18% से था, अभी नाउ यू विल गेट दैट इनपुट विद द 5%. सो वेदर दिस विल बी कंसिडर्ड एज ए इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर, so they clarified that it will not be considered as an inverted duty structure. You will not get the refund of the accumulated ITC of your stock. You have to utilize that ITC of your balance stock for your future liability. You will not get any refund for the reduction in the inward supplies rates. Further, if your rate or your outward supplies rate reduce from 18 to 0 or 12 to 0 or 5 to 0, whether you will have to reverse ITC on that specific stock which is lying over there on 21st night. So yes, section 18 subsection 4 will apply. Whatever stock is there, whatever reduction or your product become exempted now, because 18% से आपका 0 पे आ गया, मतलब it will fall under exempted category. So any taxable product which is become exempted, जो स्टॉक के ऊपर का आपका ITC प्रोपोर्शनेट ITC आपको सेक्शन 18 सबसेक्शन 4 के तहत आपको वो रिवर्स करना है. So that will be applicable. No need for reduction, because there is a tax. Your product has not gone into exempted category. Suppose 80, you can utilize that ITC. See, 18 से अगर 5 आ गया ना सर और 12 आ गया, तो आपका सिर्फ रेट रिडक्शन हुआ है, आपके स्टॉक के ऊपर ITC आपको रिवर्स नहीं करना है. यू कैन यूज फॉर द फ्यूचर लायबिलिटी. दिस विल नॉट बी कंसिडर्ड एज ए इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर. आपको वो रखना है और आपको आगे फ्यूचर लायबिलिटी में यूज करना है वो. हाँ, इसको उन्होंने इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर नहीं बोला है, स्पेसिफिकली क्लैरिफाई किया हुआ है. वो IT से आपको यूटिलाइज करते जाना है. मेरी मर्जी वैसे अभी फिलहाल तो नहीं है ना, उन्होंने ऐड पर ही ला के रखा है सब चीज़. मतलब ये GST रेट चेंजेस की वजह से अगर आपका रेट इमीडिएटली डाउन, मतलब इनपुट का बढ़ गया और इसका कम हुआ है, तो अभी फिलहाल उन्होंने बोला कि दिस इज नॉट विल कंसिडर्ड एज ए इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर, विल नॉट गेट द रिफंड. पार्डन, आई थिंक यस है ना दांडेकर सर, मॅन्युफॅक्चररला पण आहे. ओके, एज पर सर स्टॉक का रिफंड नहीं मिलेगा. फ्रॉम 22 सितंबर इट विल बी कंसिडर्ड एज इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी. स्टॉक का आपको इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी समझ के उसको रिवर्सल नहीं मिलेगा या तो रिफंड नहीं मिलेगा. फॉर ट्रेड इट इज नॉट अलाउड. इट इज ऑलरेडी देयर. फॉर ट्रेड इट इज नॉट अलाउड. अच्छा, यस, ऑब्वियसली रूल, यस ऑब्वियसली Rule 43 will applicable. Rule 43 will applicable. Yes. Yes. स्टॉक का तो करना ही करना है. अगर आपका 5% विदाउट ITC हो गया, क्योंकि आगे जाके आप 5% से बेचोगे जिसका ITC नहीं है, तो वो स्टॉक का ऑलरेडी आपने ITC लिया हुआ है, तो आपको रिवर्स करना है रूल 42 के हिसाब से. प्लस अगर कोई कैपिटल एसेट है, नाउ इट विल बी यूज फॉर बोथ टैक्सेबल एंड एग्जम्प्टेड सप्लाई, मे बी फॉर द एग्जम्प्टेड सप्लाई ओनली. तो आपने ऑलरेडी जो टैक्स पूरा ITC लिया उसको प्रोपोर्शनेटली रिवर्स करना है एज पर रूल 43। यस करना पड़ेगा तो भी। Pardon, once again. Correct. New rates with the no ITC claim. Okay. Okay. One more amendment is there, that is system enactment, that is order based refund. अगर आपके कोई ऑर्डर में जो आपके ऑर्डर बनी है असेसमेंट ऑर्डर, डिमांड ऑर्डर है, असेसमेंट ऑर्डर, इसमें अगर कोई नेगेटिव फिगर है, मतलब CGST में आपको नेगेटिव है, दैट इज रिफंड, IGST में सपोज पेएबल है, HGST में रिफंड है, सो ऑटोमेटिकली विल गेट द रिफंड ऑफ दैट नेगेटिव फिगर, दैट इज व्हाट देयर। मैं थोड़ा शॉर्टकट में ले रहा हूँ, बाद में ये शेयर हो जाएगा तो आप पढ़ सकते हो। टेबल नंबर 12, टेबल नंबर 13 ऑफ GSTR 1, that is HSN summary is compulsory now. You'll have to report HSN with the 4 digit and 6 digits. Now the 6 digits compulsory. Again, documents number, reporting 13 is compulsory now. You have to put your documents in table number 13 of GSTR 1. That is compulsory from May 2025. This is related to Rule 8, that is biometric process. While filing your registration application, one has to go through the other authentication, or if other authentication is not there, the system will automatically select your application for the biometric process. So you'll have to take appointment for the biometric process. You'll have to visit GSK, that is GST Seva Kendra, the promoter, the proprietor, the partner. The promoter, partners or directors will go first before going the primary authorized signatory. अगर आपके कंपनी का अगर एप्लीकेशन कर रहे हो जिसमें 4 डायरेक्टर है, आउट ऑफ 4 डायरेक्टर एक आपका प्राइमरी ऑथराइज्ड है, तो अगर आपका एप्लीकेशन अदर ऑथेंटिकेशन के लिए एप्लीकेबल नहीं है और आपको बायोमेट्रिक के लिए चुना गया हुआ है अगर वो एप्लीकेशन, तो आपको स्पेसिफिकली वो सारे डायरेक्टर को GST सेवा केंद्र में जाके थंब इम्प्रेशन बायोमेट्रिक करना पड़ेगा कंपलसरी, अदर ऑथेंटिकेशन से होगा नहीं। तो उसमें अगर 4 डायरेक्टर है, 1 इज द प्राइमरी ऑथराइज्ड सिग्नेटरी, दैट फर्स्ट 3 डायरेक्टर हु आर नॉट द प्राइमरी ऑथराइज्ड सिग्नेटरी हैज टू डू फर्स्ट दैट बायोमेट्रिक, then the primary authorized signatory has to do that biometric process. पहले प्राइमरी नहीं कर सकता है, तो पहले जो प्राइमरी ने उसने करना है और लास्ट में प्राइमरी ऑथराइज्ड सिग्नेटरी को बायोमेट्रिक प्रोसेस करना है। सो दिस इज व्हाट दिस रूल 8, दिस एडवाइजरी इज टेलिंग अबाउट द बायोमेट्रिक प्रोसेस। महाराष्ट्र और लक्षद्वीप में चालू हो गया ऑलरेडी फ्रॉम 8 फरवरी 2025। हाँ, these are the case law. I will take only 2 case laws, just only 2. This is the latest timely see, अगर आपके GST रजिस्ट्रेशन सर्टिफिकेट पे पार्टनर्स के नाम है, 4 पार्टनर थे उसमें से एक रिटायर हो गया, हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि GST रजिस्ट्रेशन को अमेंड करते ही नहीं है, एप्लीकेशन को REG 14 डालते ही नहीं है, वो पार्टनर ऐसे ही सर्टिफिकेट पे है, कल जाके अगर लाइबिलिटी आ गई, वो लाइबिलिटी में जॉइंटली एंड सेवरली दैट पार्टनर विल बी लाइबल इवन दो ही इज़ नॉट पार्टनर राइट नाउ। वही ये केस लॉ बोलता है। कोर्ट ने बोला है कि आपको वो अमेंडमेंट करना चाहिए था, आपने अमेंडमेंट नहीं किया, दैट पार्टनर इज ऑन द रिकॉर्ड, वो भी पर्सनल लायबल है फॉर द रिकवरी। दिस इज व्हाट दिस केस लॉ इज, एंड दिस इज द रिसेंट केस लॉ। एंड द सेकेंड वन इज पैरेलल प्रोसीडिंग 6(2)(b। अगर सेंट्रल का कोई प्रोसीडिंग चल रहा है तो स्टेट वाला नहीं कर सकता है। नॉर्मली जिसके पास अपना जुरिस्डिक्शन है, जिसके पास एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है, वो टैक्स पेयर का, दैट ऑफिसर ओनली कैन डू द प्रोसीडिंग। सेंट्रल भी कर सकता है, लेकिन स्पेसिफिकली उन्होंने ऐसे बोला, उनका इंटरनल अरेंजमेंट ऐसे है कि जिसके पास एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है उसके पास ही केस जाना चाहिए। सिर्फ अगर कोई इंस्पेक्शन है, ऑडिट निकलता है या तो कोई एनफोर्समेंट होता है, तो देन अदर अथॉरिटी मतलब पैरेलल अथॉरिटी कैन डू दैट प्रोसीडिंग्स। लेकिन अगेन सेम प्रोसीडिंग अगर स्टेट वाला कर रहा है तो सेम प्रोसीडिंग मतलब सेम लाइन ऑफ एक्शन और सेम क्या बोल सकते हैं मैटर, सब्जेक्ट मैटर इज देयर। अगर आईटीसी से रिलेटेड कोई स्टेट वाला प्रोसीडिंग चल रहा है तो सेंट्रल सेम ईयर के लिए सेम आईटीसी प्रोसीडिंग फॉलो नहीं कर सकते या तो उसकी प्रोसीडिंग नहीं कर सकता। अगर दूसरा सब्जेक्ट है ही कैन, तो सेम सब्जेक्ट के लिए दो प्रोसीडिंग्स साइमल्टेनियसली चल रहे हैं, इट इज़ वॉइड, इट इज़ नॉट एप्लीकेबल अंडर सेक्शन 6 सबसेक्शन 2 क्लॉज बी, ये केस लॉ में बोला हुआ है। और भी है, अभी आई विल स्टॉप हियर। थैंक यू फॉर पेशेंट लिसनिंग। यस सर। एटीन only, sir. So you have to check section 14. 3 conditions where any 2 transactions are happening, 2 events are happening after change or before change, that rate you have to apply. Section 14 you have to see. Thank you everyone for patient listening.
Thank you, Kunal. Members, just 2 minutes more, please. Just to give respect to the speaker, please. Thank you, Kunal. It was really indeed a detailed presentation. May I request Shreyans to give a hearty vote of thanks to the learned speaker, please.
Good evening, members. We are privileged to have CA Kunal Salvi with us to share his inputs on latest changes in the GST regime. I think he covered very extensively and in depth. It will help all the members to implement these changes in our practice and be compliant. Request all the members to extend a huge round of applause for our today's learned speaker. Thank you.